Journal entry 2003. It's been 3 years since my last entry, and it feels like so much has changed.
Nah, so like All Eyes on Me was like it was like the first like release of quantity music. Like, okay, we need 2 CDs worth of music, and it wasn't just Biggie either. Like Yuck Mouth had a Yuck Mouth from the Loonies. Like everybody,
Master P had a bunch of double CDs.
yeah, strictly from my homies. I mean, it was like there was a whole there was an era of like, okay, let's give people quantity. Let's give them double CDs for their money, or we'll charge more. But to your point, Pop was trying to get out of his deal.
And so was Biggie. Biggie was done with Puffy. He had a 3 album deal with Puffy.
Yeah.
So he was done. So he released Life After Death. He was out his Bad Boy deal. He was going to go to Undias and have the Commission album was supposed to come out. So the Commission was him, Jay-Z, Charlie Baltimore, and somebody else.
Cease?
Nah, Caesar was trash. It was somebody else. I can't think of who the other person was. But I would love to get the Commission album. That'd have been crazy. But like, and then they got the whole, so we grew up in the whole East Coast, West Coast beef situation. And of course, it had everybody in the Indianapolis picking sides, which was stupid because we're literally in the middle and no one knows we exist anyway. But
Indianapolis always skews west.
Back then I was an East Coast guy. You were a West Coast guy, so that didn't. I was surprised that didn't drive a wedge in our friendship. But I'm an East Coast guy, and one of my roommates in college, Trevor, who may watch this or not, Trevor's from Gary. And he loved Tupac. And I'm like, man, I'm a Biggie guy. So a couple times, man, we literally had to take it to the yard and wrestle about these niggas who don't care nothing about us and who was better, Biggie or Pac. But now Pac lyrically was cool. Pac is cool.
And delivery, just his delivery, in the way because back in the day, I mean, if you couldn't deliver, I mean, his voice was pronounced, his delivery was on point. No, he wasn't spitting bars and metaphors on every other verse, but it's like he was a good rapper in the landscape,
and that's what I like lyrics personally. No pun intended, because that's your daughter's name, but I still listen to Biggie stuff now, and I'm catching stuff I missed 30 years ago. Like, I'm not doing that with Pac stuff. Now, Pac, I'm still banging Pac stuff. Still. Like, I'll go through certain days where I'm like, I'm just listening to this dude today. And I listen to all this stuff. So, like, one day it was all Biggie, one day it was all Pac, one day it was all Rick Ross, one day it was just the Clips, one day it was just Killer Mike. So I do that just so I can, because I have so much music in my phone that I don't want to feel like I'm just wasting my Apple subscription. Because like, I'll get on Apple Music and just download the album because I pay $40 a month and it's free. Like,
yeah.
So I'm getting it. You know what I'm saying? So like, but now, so here's the thing that I've never said this to you either, right? So I got another friend group called The Fellas. We went to see Nas in Denver. Now, mind you, Nas has always been in my top 5. But everyone who knows me knows how hard I ride for Jay-Z, being the greatest rapper alive, right?
After Biggie.
Well, Biggie's dead.
Alive.
Yes, the greatest rapper alive is Jay-Z. But Nas, this last 5 years, has put out some of the dopest music to where I am willing to say Nas is the greatest rapper alive.
Okay.
Cause some of it, now to the point where it's cool to listen to some stuff when we were kids when I would sell drugs in my mind because I never had the heart to really sell drugs. So I listen to drug dealer music all day. I'm not really gonna go sell no drugs, but I'm going to brunch on Sundays. Nas got a song called "Brunch on Sundays."
Yep.
And I'm going.
Is that
King's is on King's
3?
Disease, yes. King's Disease 3. I am going to brunch on Sundays.
Yeah.
Okay? I live with a woman and I too have student loans. And she's talking on brunch on Sunday, he said, hey, I'm talking to this girl about her student loans.
Yeah.
I can relate to that shit. That's what I'm on right now. Now 444, Jay-Z's last album, is to me his best album in the last 20 years, simply because I can relate to that too. Like that, he's a grown man on that. He's not selling drugs. He's not girls. He's talking about trying to save his family because he done messed up. He's trying to save his marriage. So to the last episode, we talked about marriage. Jay-Z's marriage is tough. They billionaires. Marriage is hard. So anyway, so it's like now to the point now. So if I'm hearing some new stuff, I have to relate to it. It can't be some shit I'm not doing.
Yeah. I mean, and Nas just dropped another one with Primo.
Yeah, and I was listening to it, and it's cool, but a lot of it is like old lyrics that he had. Like some of that stuff, so you got some Illmatic on there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And Eric Sermon dropped last Friday. And he was on the Breakfast Club. Like, yeah, a lot of that stuff is old because he's got like the Dog Pound on there or whatever. And I forgot about Eric Sermon as a producer and how
he made hits.
I mean, he's got a whole album out. It's like volume 1, so of course there's a volume 2 coming. But yeah, it's just like, again, being a Gen Xer, we're the ambassadors of rap. We are, and your brother included. Anybody that is 50 some plus, you know what I mean? We own this genre, and we own it in a special way because we kind of got the teenage years of it. We got teenage years of rap. I mean,
yeah, rap's only 52 years old.
And I'm 47.
Rap is the same age. Rap is the same age as my brother.
Right. And my older sister. So it's like it hits different from us. The change, the evolution. I try to be open to creative license and what people are doing, but I mean it is what raised me. It raised me off of Motown.
You know what's crazy? I was listening, cause I have satellite radio, right?
Yeah.
So I was listening to Cardi B's new stuff and Megan Thee Stallion's new stuff. These women are so much better than these dudes. It's crazy. Now, mind you, we grew up in a time where MC Lyte was bad, Queen Latifah was bad, Yo-Yo was bad, Nikki D was bad. Like we had women that were really nice on the mic. I ain't never been a Salt and Pepper fan. I mean, they are on the Hall of Fame, so you gotta give them their credit. But so we grew up like that. So so when I've never been a Nicki Minaj fan, but Cardi B, she got some heat.
They working. I mean, it's like, and they're channeling the inner essence of the 80s and whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they're making hits. And so hits. The reason why the stuff that we heard from Pac and Biggie was so dope is because the gatekeepers were making sure hits were coming out. It might not have, they could have recorded something and it might not have just been that hit. Like there was kind of a silo. And the gift and the curse to me is that, okay, you don't need a major label to put an album out. But now you're just flooding the market with so much stuff that you're diluting yourself. So you have some artists. You have Kendrick Lamar's that will not put a mixtape out every week. They come out once every 2 years.
J. Cole.
J. Cole. You have to protect that legacy of okay, I'm making this body of work. And then you got some people that like they putting out stuff every week. You know what I'm saying? And it just at some point it starts to dilute any greatness because like what are you talking about now? You put something out last week, a mixtape out last week, and
So as a West Coast guy, where does Ice Cube sit on your West Coast Mount Rushmore?
he's on my West Coast Mount Rushmore. Ice Cube was the West, especially before Pop got released.
So you would put now Pac being from Baltimore, he lived in Oakland. You would put Pac on the West Coast. I know he shot at West Coast all day. I know what he did, but he also has a song called My Block on the show soundtrack, which is a phenomenal song where he's giving mad love to Baltimore. And on Me Against the World, there's a song, the West, the old school, where he talks about Brooklyn. And he's like, "It's Brooklyn in the house." He said, "Niggas be scared to say from anywhere else in Brooklyn." So you putting Pac on your, you can't put Pac on your Mount Rushmore in the West. I'm just asking, that's where you putting them?
I can't. Honestly, if we take it to the Mount Rushmore level, Pac is not West Coast. So if I look prior Pac, Ice Cube, E40. I mean, if I'm building a Mount Rushmore,
Because you only get four. Only four people on the.
so I got Pac, I got 40, I got come on, shorty. Shit. Just look at NWA, Mount Rushmore. Honestly, I mean, so what else was West that was
So
as impactful as Pac? I mean, as impactful as Q.
So you go 40. There's Too Short. You forgot Too Short.
I wanted to put him in there, but I was like, what? It's Too Short better than 40. 40 water.
You put them in there together.
Okay, so we got 4 people.
You go
Too Short.
We got Snoop.
Yep.
Now, again, because he's your favorite person in the world, I think you'd be gay for him. Dr. Dre. Now, is Dr. Dre a rapper or is Dr. Dre a producer?
He's a producer. I cannot. I mean, and the fact that I said Q before Dre, because I'm a Dre dude. So I can't. I had to answer the question in a mature, thought out manner of the West Coast rappers, and yeah.
So you would not.
So yeah. Let's take off Too Short and let's put Warren G. Warren was nice. Was Warren not nice?
Warren's very nice.
His album was nice.
But Too Short. Too Short got a lot of bangers. A lot of bangers. With a lot of different people too. Like, I mean, Freaky Tales is, I should not have been listening to that as a 10-year-old boy. But I love it. Freaky Tales is awesome. But you're not wrong.
And then I do my homework, I'm like, what about the Far Side? What about Dale? What about Souls of Mischief? What about,
Souls of Mischief made arguably the greatest hip hop song of all time.
I mean, and okay, so
93 Until Infinity may be the greatest hip hop song ever.
Yep. Yep. I think about Teddy. So what's losers? Like the loser. Whenever I heard the word loser, I think about Teddy. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So. So we gotta have the criteria. Like we gotta look at the criteria.
Okay, well, so Drake can't be on the rap. Drake's not a rapper. Drake's a producer who happens to rap.
But he had a movie. He bodied the West Coast.
Yeah, but I know
We have to.
Dr. Dre is the Quincy Jones of hip hop. Quincy Jones got a bunch of albums, but that nigga ain't playing their instrument. But he ain't singing their note. But he's essentially arranging everything and making the beats and doing everything. Like, not to get too far off track, there's no one on the planet who can do a verses with Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones is bodying anybody in a verses. Anybody.
Yeah.
So Dr. Dre is that for hip hop.
So I get 4.
So you take Dre off because Dre's not. I never thought Dre was a rapper. Once I found out Ice Cube wrote all the NWA stuff, I was like, man, I can't really say Dre or Easy are rappers. Because part of hip hop is being able to write your own stuff. Like I could be a rapper, you could write my stuff, I could spit it. I can't write a rhyme to save my life. But I wouldn't consider myself a rapper if you are writing my lyrics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just, it'd be no different than like. I mean, I guess I'd be a singer.
Man.
I you know what? I would be a rapper if you wrote my lyrics. I would not be an MC because it's no different than being a singer and Babyface writing all these hits for these singers. They still singers. Luther Vandross still a singer. Boyz II Men still singers. But yeah, so Dre's a rapper. He's not an MC.
And you know what's crazy? And I'm looking at a wall where it's like that artistically encompasses my thoughts of who should be drawn and put on the wall, and there's an empty frame, and I don't know who to put there. I don't know who to put in this empty frame.
Y'all gonna put Dre in there?
I want to, so they can't see this. I got Kendrick, Andre 3000, Michael Jackson, Black Michael Jackson, Jackson 5 Michael, Snoop,
13-year-old Michael Jackson.
13-year-old Michael Jackson, Snoop, and Jay-Z. And an empty frame. And I don't know what.
You should have put Dre in there before Snoop. Because without Dre, there is no Snoop.
But Snoop was, yeah.
Snoop, here's an unpopular opinion. Snoop is living off 2 albums.
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Snoop, he's living off Doggy Style, and he's living off The Chronic.
Okay.
Other than that, everything else he did was trash. Now he's living off Skechers and Martha Stewart. But other than Doggy Style and The Chronic, Snoop Dogg is trash.
But Snoop Dogg owned the summer.
He did. He owned it. Snoop Dogg owned 1992 to 1994. He owned that shit.
Yeah. Everybody.
When he came out, when him and Drake came out with Deep Cover, from Deep Cover ran into The Chronic. The Chronic ran into Doggy Style. So freshman year, actually back in the 8th grade year, all through freshman year. So Snoop and Drake owned the world with The Chronic from 1992 to the end of 1993. Our sophomore year started, and then 93, 94, that's when he released Doggy Style. And that's when the world was over. Snoop was that dude. Then Biggie showed up.
And in between that, we got Rap a Lot. And that's slept on. That is slept on.
Hey man, Scarface is in my top 5, dog. Always.
I'll take that.
Scarface is always in my top 5. And whatever. But as far as Texas rapper goes, Scarface was the best.
Cause I mean, you know,
Maybe put Scarface there.
I should. I should think outside the box. And I mean, and think about like what's not so literal. So Andre 3000 South, But there's no logic in what I drew. It's just like, man, who's at last spot? Maybe it should be me. I'm the dopest motherfucker out there.
You know, unpopular opinion.
Shorty shortcut, SHORTI, short, KUT, Google, YouTube. Anyway.
Unpopular opinion. Now, Big Boy is better than Andre 3000.
Yeah. He got a bigger body of work.
I was so disappointed on that scientist and the song he did with Killer Mike, the scientist or something. He won the Grammy, but Andre's verse was not the best. Killer Mike carried that because Killer Mike is that dude.
But Dre on the Lloyd track, you heard the Lloyd track where Andre was rapping?
Oh, Lloyd, the singer, you got this song? I heard it.
Well, it's an older song, but Dre. So Dre
Drake got some stuff. Like when he was that song, give the green light with the John Legend.
Yeah.
And then I'm not a huge Beyonce fan, but he got me liking the song he got with Beyonce. Like, dude, like he's nice. I'm not saying he's not good. All I'm saying is now, Big Boy is better. At one point, there wasn't a question who was the best in Outkast.
And I think that goes to the point of protecting your legacy. Okay, so as a hooper, the more games you play, the more games you can win or lose, right?
And the more times your game can be exposed and flaws can come out and people can get nitpick and pick it. Yeah, I get it.
So at some point, I get the strategy of like I'm playing less.
Yeah.
I'm putting out less, and I want quality shit, and that's where
I'm gonna put out a flute album, and everyone's gonna get it, and it's gonna fucking suck.
I can't. I don't even know that. I erased that from my memory of Dre. I can't because I won't go see it. I won't support it. It's a pet project. You know what I mean? And it's like, huh? You know what? I don't know you as a flute player, so I'm not gonna go to your concert to support you as a flute player. Like,
I want to hear Southern Plains and Cadillac funky music. I don't want to hear this flute.
like give me a verse and then play the flute. Don't just
don't bring the flute out.
Yeah, like I mean shit, like shit. Maybe I put out a kazoo album, like you know. So I mean, it's as far as the Mount Rushmore of the West, Cube, 40. I gotta put Dre. Now that we, I mean, you shouldn't have had to bend my arm to say. It shouldn't have taken this much for me to say Dre. I think I've been trying to be like more deep thinking.
Hey man, don't overthink the situation.
But he's twins.
Don't overthink the situation. And so you got Dre, Snoop, Q.
40?
40? All right. So
I'm actually. You know what? I only you will appreciate this shit. Spice One. Okay. Remember. Okay. Fam.
okay.
Columbia House. Spice One.
Man, Columbia House.
Y'all niggas are old.
I owe Columbia House $1 million.
Everybody owes. Yeah. Everybody owes Columbia House.
I owe Columbia House. They gotta be 20. They gotta be 30 CDs for 15 cents. Yeah. Okay, Spice One. I get out. So as an East Coast guy, I'm going Biggie. I'm going Jay.
Okay. Nas. Come on.
I'm going Nas. And unconventional. LL. And on a good day, and if I could get a fifth, I would go with KRS-One. If I get a fifth. East Coast. I go KRS-One. But yeah, man, it's just,
So
Actually, I take that back. I would not go with KRS-One. I would go with Jadakiss if I could get a fifth. And if I could do groups, if I have Mount Rushmore groups, I'm going. And there's only duos because there's too many niggas in the Wu-Tang Clan. I'm going.
Wu-Tang gotta have his own Mount Rushmore.
I'm going.
That shit's.
I'm going Clips, Outkast, UGK, 8 Ball, and JG.
Mm. Yeah, it's division. It's the lowest common denominator. So, okay, Wu-Tang gets its own Mount Rushmore. Then you got your East Coast jump off. There was a nice spread. And then we got the West Coast jump off. Can we get some Southern? Is there a South Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
For
For
face?
solos?
For face?
Yeah, you go face.
I'm gonna give Juvie a spot. Juvie.
But you got to get Master P just off the love of what he did. He's terrible. But off of how he brought everybody in New Orleans money.
8 Ball and MJG's taking up 2 spots.
They should.
Or should they take up 1?
They take up 1.
8 Ball is big enough to take.
I hate how they get Ball and G. They make them split the 16 bars on verses they do with other people. I hate that shit. I need Ball and G get their own verses.
So does Ball and G get their own 1 spot or they 2?
Nah, Ball and G's 1 spot.
Okay. We got Face, 8 Ball, MJG. You want P?
T.I.?
Damn. Outkast.
Yeah, okay. We throw T.I.?
So, okay. 1991 to 96. We gotta now the Mount Rushmore's got criteria of our high school era.
No, that's easy. Down south, it's easy. It goes Outkast, UGK, Ball and G, and the Ghetto Boys / Scarface.
But man, the Chiselers are gonna have a. They're not making one face; they're making groups.
They had to.
I'll take it.
Well, that's it for today. We'll come back. We'll revisit this another episode.
Yeah, this might be a 2-part.
This might be a 2-part.
Because
Journal entry 2003. It's been 3 years since my last entry, and it feels like so much has changed. Well, I'm not exactly everything.